everybody, and welcome to the very first ever session of Tales from Ellseworld, a spin-off stream from our Ellseworld campaign. This will be to include the players that miss a session, so they can catch up EXP-wise and also playing-wise with the players who were there for the session. This week we've got our usual player and character, Tom, as you may be able to see, but we've also got a very special guest. We'll do some proper introductions in just a moment, and then I'll tell you what the hey-ho is going on. But basically, if this is the first thing you're seeing of Ellseworld, you're in for a treat. But anyway, there's more to it. Anyway, on to the players.
Are you looking at that camera?
Oh, I am looking at that camera.
You're in this camera.
Hello. Hello, lovely people. Well, yeah, moving on to people that are looking in their cameras, hopefully. We'll move on to my first player on my right here.
Hello, I'm Ferrets. I don't have any intros, actually. I've not come up with an intro.
No, that's Callum's one. You can't take it.
Shit. My intro is to copy people's intros.
Good job.
And you'll see who I'm playing, although the name will pop up. But I'm not going to introduce who I'm playing because they're going to appear through the session.
Hello, I'm Tom. I was a naughty boy and I missed last Ellseworld session. Such a
very disappointed.
A genuine crying shame.
Yeah.
I was gutted to have missed it. It looked like a really fun one. You can catch up and watch it on YouTube when it goes up. It's not up yet, but
in the next couple of days. Yeah.
Anywho,
it's on our Twitch if you want to catch it.
Watch it in the past streams. Anywho, I'm Tom. I'm going to be playing Appleby. You'll see some art of him rotating just there, done by Joaz JPEG on Instagram. Over 450 million years ago, when there weren't any trees, there actually used to be giant fungi instead of trees that grew to be up to like 26 feet tall. I would much rather that, I think. I'm going to go back 450
I reckon there'd be
million.
like way more spores and shit.
Oh yeah, probably like uninhabitable.
Yeah.
That's why
if you got
yeah.
hay fever, which I know you do.
Yeah, maybe it's not such a good idea. I'm playing Applebi Okewoode, soil man, juggler extraordinaire, and I'm excited to see what happens in this session.
So, as you may know from...
Do you want to do my thing?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Do your thing.
We've got a sound goblin.
Hello, I'm this week's Sound Goblin. How are you doing, gang? I'm Jamie.
I need something.
I'm Sound Goblin, also the master of Patreon. If you don't know, we have a Patreon. You can subscribe to it for as little as £5 a month. You can give a advantage or disadvantage as well as a nat 20 and crit fail to each of the players for £5. That's a value of nearly £28 to £35, depending on how many Sundays are in a month. And that's even more if you take into account if someone misses an Ellseworld session. So I've got my notes here, and we've got, for both advantage and disadvantages this week, we've got ties.
Of course.
So I'm going to need some roll-offs. First off, for the advantage... I would like a roll-off between Joe and Elliot.
Oh,
no, hang on. No, Joe, I want you to roll twice. No, it is Joe and Elliot. Sorry, yeah, Joe and Elliot both roll off.
I got an 11.
I got an 8.
Okay.
Yay!
Elliot wins, which means you're getting the advantage. For the nat 20, can Tom and Elliot please roll off?
Ooh. 17.
1.
Elliot, you're getting the nat 20
Nice.
at some point in the session. Cheers, gang. I'll be hanging out in the chat and stuff, so I'll see you around. Have a good one.
See you around, Jamie. And thanks for sounding the goblin.
No worries, I'm just here. Can Elliot be turned up a little bit?
Oh, I can
Or turn the other two down?
I can turn the
Can't
other
believe
bit.
the
Thanks.
Sound Goblin's gone forever.
Yeah. Goblin, that's
I'm right here.
No, gone forever gone though, forever in our hearts.
So, if you are up to date with the story of Ellseworld, you know that Applebi Okewoode, the soil man jester, is currently in the coastal town of Ria Priz in the heartland of the Golden Kingdom. He's just finished up a fight with some Crimson Gallants, the foe that he is currently dealing with for his employer Faisal. But we're going to cut to somewhere quite far away from there for now. Way down to the south, past the Strafenhold, and past the Austral Headlands, to a lovely little place known as Doomspire Keep. There, in one of the many chambers, sits a fairly unique individual, just chilling out in their allotted room in this large Gothic castle that sticks out of the ocean like a enormous spit of earth with a giant castle sat upon it. And as you are sitting in here, would you like to describe your character as they are doing whatever they would do in their kind of living quarters?
So this character is completely pretty much covered in armor. Everywhere except their the top of their head and their eyes, so the face is covered. They have long black hair, very, very long, that goes very far down. They're a fire genasi, but they don't shine as brightly as any fire genasi. They're a little bit dimmer, almost cracked in some places and on their skin. And like I said, covered in head to toe in armor with a white doublet over the top and some black trousers as well over it too. But yeah, and you can see this constant grey, muddish grey smoke coming off them as well.
Nice. And yeah, as you're kind of sitting in this room, tinkering with some of your experimental products, some of your arcane equipment that you've just got kind of lying around here across your workbench and across your kind of tools of the trade, you hear a kind of gust of what sounds like wind coming through your door, a sound that you're quite familiar with. And as you hear this, you also hear a voice accompany it, this kind of hollow sounding feminine voice whispering to you, you think in your head at first, but then you kind of hear this sound flowing in like the wind. The master wishes to see you, Thrall.
I'm on my way.
So you kind of turn to reply to this. You see this kind of semi-transparent figure in the room. This ghostly apparition has summoned, has come to summon you to your master's chambers.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I'll drop everything I'm doing and make my way, towards it.
Cool. You travel a little way down a few of the winding corridors through this part of Doomspire Keep that your master has the tenancy over. And you travel into what you know to be, you travel towards what you know to be his chambers, locked behind this large wrought iron door. The ghost that is leading you here seems to pass straight through the door into the master's chamber as you are stopped outside by this wrought iron door.
I knock.
Kind of rings across, sounding very loudly in this otherwise quite quiet environment. And as you do this, upon the third knock, the doors begin to creak open, and you are met with a familiar sight. Calthar, your master, arms spread in the middle of the room, slightly hovering above the ground as he is bathed in what appears to be moonlight. He's got this almost pleasure-addled face on at the moment as he's kind of hovering above the ground. As you see, whatever is happening to him at the moment is something quite enjoyable, and you know from being around him quite a few times that he is using this light to empower himself. As you enter, you see as his eyes kind of open and flick to the side and his head kind of tilts towards you, and he kind of begins to slowly just rotate on the spot, again, not touching the ground or anything, but kind of in this shaft of what appears to be moonlight, just starts to rotate back towards you and towards the door as you walk towards him in this quite large, cavernous room, very much in Gothic architecture, but not a single window open. You can see that there would be a lot of windows facing the outside, overlooking the ocean that surrounds Doomspire Keep, but they are all shuttered. As you know, it is currently daytime, so as you enter, as he looks down towards you, he says, my thrall, come closer. Let me get a good look at you.
I approach without hesitation.
It is a good day, thrall. Something I have been looking for a very, very long time has revealed itself to me. This, can you feel it? This rift that is opening, it is bathing the world in this otherworldly magic. It's wonderful. I must remain here to continue bathing in this power. I will require it. But this thing I have found, do you know of the stones of Ankelion?
I tilt my head sideways in a kind of intrigued / playful manner, inquiring, not sure I have, master.
I wouldn't expect as much. It's prescribed knowledge, very old, very dangerous. As you see, he is very slowly getting closer and closer towards you. This shaft of moonlight that's keeping him aloft and also kind of allowing him to absorb this magic, just coming along with him as he gets closer and closer towards you. His hand almost reaching out for your face as he gets within kind of 5 or 10 feet of you. These stones are mystical sapphires, mined by dragon riders on the moon of Azan. They contain portions of power belonging to the first moon dragon, as his spirit passed into them long ago. I need one of these crystals, and with this power I have gained from this rift opening, this delicious power, its location has been made known to me. While I stay here absorbing this, I need you to go and fetch this stone. Can you do this, Thrall?
Of course, master. I can do anything you wish.
And now as he kind of is within very close kind of touching range of you, he puts his hand out and kind of cradles your face and he says, just a few more now and then you'll get what you want. You'll get to be a bit more like me. And you see at that, he kind of draws away from you and begins to float back around. So his back is facing towards you. Again, hoisted further aloft by this moonlight, you see as he begins to kind of float into the very center of this room, both horizontally and vertically.
As he pulls away, I will hold my head as if relishing the moment. And then, seeing as he's turned away, I'll head towards my quarters yet again.
One more thing, Thrall, before you go. And you see as this very small blue stone begins to kind of float its way towards you. This, not the kind of blue you'd expect from a sapphire, but a very pale blue, almost like ocean water on a very clear, sunny day, kind of passes into your hands as it floats down from him into your hands. So this is a amplified transitioning stone. It has some programmed locations within it that I have set for you. The first of which you may find interesting. I believe you'll need some help to get this stone. And due to the nature of who has it, you are going to need a very particular kind of person. The creature who was last known to have this stone was known as the face-eating hag. A ancient being of the Feywild come to the Materium to wreak havoc. A good story if you ever care to look it up. But it seems as though she has passed on, unfortunately. And that would leave the gem somewhat unguarded. But if she were still there, you may need assistance. This creature I am sending you to, well, you'll see why he's useful. His name is, what was it? Something like a tree, Okewood. Yes, and then something sweet. He kind of smacks his lips and licks them. Applebi Okewood is his name.
I see, and you do not trust I can do this on my own?
Not that you couldn't, but more that you shouldn't.
Okay.
You'll see why this Okewood has his benefits.
You know best of all, master.
That is right. Now go. Collect what you need. Take the gold that I've left in your chambers.
Oh, thank you very much, Master. I will be back soon.
Lunette, see him out. You see, you're kind of followed by this ghostly apparition, Lunette, as she follows you back to your chambers. And you see there, as she kind of gestures to the bag of gold that's been left on your bed since you departed this room. And you see 200 gold pieces in there.
200 gold pieces. Oh, cheers, babe.
Can't wait for someone to figure out the use of Appleby.
All right.
As you kind of, sat there in this room, she kind of is looking to you and says, best of luck then.
Not that I need it, but thank you very much.
She kind of floats back through the wall and out back into Doomspire.
I pull, the face turns a bit sour and pulls a kind of unhappy grimace. But then looks at the stone, the amplified transitioning stone.
Yeah.
And just meditate on it for a bit.
Cool. You do so, and after, about 10 minutes or so, you kind of feel the knowledge of how to use this thing pass into you. Being a artificer, you have kind of an inherent knowledge of how magic items work and how to activate them and things like that. And just by kind of forcing a portion of your magical will into this and thinking about the locations that you know have been predetermined in here, you can be taken there. And you also feel like you could take someone with you.
Okay, so before I set off, I make some minor adjustments to gauntlets and to parts and to joints, and then stand prepared. And before I set off, I had the helmet come up.
Okay.
Completely fully covers my head.
Cool.
And will, through my armor, will some magic into the gemstone.
Cool. As you do so, you feel as these kind of this blinding light begins to emanate from the floors. You see runes emblazon all around you, and the kind of smoke that is emanating from your kind of emberous form begins to enhance as this kind of magical energy swarms around you, covering you in a cloud of this smoke. And as it kind of like builds and builds and builds, you feel as the cold air of Gloomspire begins to dissipate and replaced by this warm air. You hear the sound of gulls, and you hear the waves crashing against the shoreline somewhere, and feel this sea breeze upon you as you see a curious sight before you as this smoke begins to clear partially, as this creature is on the edge of a dockyard, pushing a red-armoured body into the ocean. As you see before you, Applebi Okewoode. Tom, if you'd like to just quickly describe Appleby as he would be seen from an outsider.
Oh, how to describe Appleby? He wears a fully green, almost patchwork leotard jester's outfit. Which is relatively sodden in places, but has very bright gold lining. His clothes are adorned with golden bells, and the very small areas of him that you can see, his skin, I suppose, look as though they are completely and entirely made of soil and dirt. His eyes are like two dugout dents in this dirt. He doesn't seem to have actual eyes or eyelids. When he opens his mouth, the inside of his mouth is dirt. And that's more or less Appleby, to be honest. He's one of his feet is a red silver boot, strapped onto his leg. And he's just probably muttering to himself as he pushes these bodies into the water.
Laughing and giggling is what we were told.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Appleby, as you kind of push this last body into the water, you turn and you see as this kind of smoke is filling the air. And instead of seeing your companions, who you kind of assumed were still there, you see this heavily armored figure appear before you. This kind of, smoke kind of almost crowding around the two of you in a kind of, you're almost like you're in the eye of a storm together with this armored figure as this smoke kind of brings you closer and closer together.
Okewoode?
Some have known me as that.
I grab and pull the gemstone.
Cool, yeah, you do so. You grab Appleby on the shoulder, and you kind of, again, put your kind of will into this stone. And Appleby, you feel also as this kind of like light begins to shine up from below you. You look down, you can see again these runes being emblazoned, this smoke thickening, and then suddenly, as quickly as as one of you appeared, you both disappear. And again, you feel as the air is the first thing that changes, going again from this hot air to this more chilly, cool breeze that is passing through the sky. No more sounds of gulls, instead the sound of what appears to be kind of light bird song as the smoke begins to clear and you're on a track leading through what appears to be some nice farmland area. It's quite cool up here. You can tell that this area seems to be going into what appears to be some kind of winter, as the temperature is quite cool, but it's not so cold that it's punishing or anything like that. As you kind of arrive here, Thrall, you kind of get this innate sense that you are somewhere in the Cape of Borea, a northern kingdom to the north of where you are departed from. As you kind of both arrive here and look around, you can kind of just see farmland stretching out in a few different ways, a road leading before you that seems to go to the west and then curves around to the north. And there's a sign that says Tiller's Pass, 2 miles leading up the road.
Does Appleby recognise that name? Is it somewhere that I would have travelled to?
Give me a... give me a survival check.
Can do. Natural 1, bro.
Natural 1.
I'm gonna use my point of inspiration
Nice.
on that. Get it out there early. That's 2 that I've rolled this evening. I rolled 1 before the session. That's cricket.
That's a 3.
That's cricket. Natural 20.
You have been to Tiller's Point before, in fact. You know that it's just off the road that leads kind of from the that leads through the Cape of Borea and will eventually lead to the capital town of Con. I can actually point to you on the map exactly where it is. It's just off the road to about on kind of here, just before the road turns north to Con. The city of Tiller's Pass is about here.
Okay.
How do you know, chat?
Yeah, from travelling this road a few times, you know that it's about 7 days shy of the capital of Con, just slightly off the road. You would also know with the natural 20, it's called Tiller's Pass because past this point, the land is impossible to till. It's too cold anywhere north of this to get arable or kind of like a pastoral land. So yeah, this is kind of the last point for farmland. As you do see, stretching to the south, all farmland, and to the north, you just see as this kind of tundra begins to stretch before you. And yeah, you kind of, from knowing this area, you would actually know how to navigate to Tiller's Pass from here.
Wow. Something's gone equipper.
That's all you've got to say. I've had people kicking and screaming.
Tiller's Pass.
You know where we are?
Now, why would you be bringing me to Tiller's Pass?
You've been called upon.
Called upon?
Yes.
Now, who would be calling upon me to bring me to Tiller's Pass?
My master has brought us. Heaven knows why at this point, but you are here to help me find a blue gemstone.
Blue gemstone?
Mm-hmm.
What's that you've got there in your hand?
This is not the correct gemstone that we need.
Oh, you found the wrong one.
No, this is the one I've been given to bring you here.
Yes.
You're rather calm.
Some have said that. Others haven't. Some have. So Tiller's Pass.
From this point, I'm not sure, but we're looking for somewhere where a face-eating hag might live.
From your natural 20 as well, you would actually know that there's been a rumour for a while in Tiller's Pass of a route into the woodlands, which is supposedly cursed by a monster that either devours you or steals your face.
Oh, old face stealer.
You know them?
I'm aware of them.
Appleby has summoned here many times.
Yeah, I love camping out this way.
Okay, I guess I can see why he wanted you.
Thank God for that nat 20. That really played into the story nicely.
Jeez. So where's the face eating hag?
You would know that there's supposedly a woodland path somewhere near the town, near the hamlet, and down that path somewhere there is an area that supposedly is cursed by this face-eating or face-stealing monster.
Is Tiller's Pass within view of where we are?
I would say you could give me a perception check to see.
That's not going to go well. It's a 1.
It's a 1?
It's a 1.
Oh,
You
God.
can't see Tiller's Pass from here. It's like 10 minutes away.
Whilst looking, I take the top of the helmet off and just like straining and looking around.
You kind of see Appleby as, much like yourself, this person doesn't have a kind of normal skin that you would expect of a humanoid. You see this kind of ember-like smouldering skin beneath this armour.
Do you always learn all of that?
Yes, I do.
Ah.
You always wear all of that.
Word all of what? I've had to make Appleby far more talkative for this session. Yeah, it'd be so boring.
Look, never mind.
It's nice getting a nice insight into the true character of Appleby.
This is a real character study.
Oh, believe me, that it's overdue. All right.
We go for 3 sessions.
I don't see Tiller's Pass from here. But if you know the area, do you know where Tiller's Pass is?
I know the area. Yeah, I know the area. Tiller's Pass is just a short way down the way.
All right, let's go. Let's just start walking.
He kind of
I will sort of stay behind for a second and just sort of watch this massive metal creature. Just how tall are you?
I'm not actually that tall. I'm about
okay,
5'9", 5'11".
Okay.
The armor
The
itself
armor
is
is
big.
You could just say 5'10". That's the...
That's a good point. I could have said 5'10", but that would be too simple.
9'11". Had to slip that in there.
nice. It was seamless.
Yeah.
Pour it out to the first responders, am I right?
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah. I'll just watch this sort of big metal. What color is the metal? Is it black or like silvery?
It's like you can kind of see that it's probably like iron or steel, but it's completely almost like ashen as well.
Okay,
as if
cool.
it's been
So
burnt.
it's not like polished. It's
No, yeah.
like,
It's
cool.
it's very dirty and almost some places a bit corroded, but
Does it like clink while you walk?
not as much as you'd expect actually.
Okay.
It's surprisingly quiet actually.
Cool.
It's not what you've probably seen from most plate.
You're a surprisingly quiet pair.
We are.
Yeah, I will. Just watch for a moment and then sort of.
You do. You kind of look around and
Catch
you
up.
kind of like almost see where you just were, and you kind of like shake your head, and you kind of carry on, follow in behind this not large armored figure, this bulky armored figure, as they stride off before you in the way you kind of indicated towards Tiller's Pass. It's about an hour or so's travel down this road. It's you can tell that it's fairly
Not a
well.
single word.
Yeah, not a single word. The whole hour.
you're kind of separated by about 5 or 10 feet between each other. It's like
I'm almost walking like a bit pouty, almost as if I'm kind of annoyed.
yeah. Okay.
Keep turning around to check that you're going in the right direction, even though Appleby knows where we're going behind.
Yeah, exactly. I keep having to check.
Yeah. It's fairly well traveled road, and eventually you can see kind of smoke begin to rise, and you kind of hear the hustle and bustle as Tiller's Pass comes into view. You do see a very small, humble kind of village/hamlet here, about 20 or so buildings, most of which seem to be kind of farm buildings, with a small town square in the centre, with this main road kind of passing directly through it, but it tapers off into a very small pathway at the other end of the kind of like a square that it goes through. As you kind of begin to approach this town, you see as kind of breaking off from a conversation, this fairly large humanoid figure begins to walk towards you. You can see as he gets closer, this is a large orcish figure that approaches you both and kind of like raises a hand as you the two of you approach the town of or the village of Tiller's Pass. Halt! Who goes there?
Does it really matter who goes there?
Yes, of course. I am the arbiter of this place.
We're just travelers trying to look for some sort of hag.
A hag?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the Green Mother?
The
face stealer?
The face... Okay.
Yeah, sounds like the one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That is
Yes.
a fairy tale.
Well, indulge us in this fairy tale. If one were, where does this fairy tale say this hag abides or abodes therein?
Down there. And you see as he passes, he kind of points to where the road kind of tapers off into this thin path, which you do see as it kind of like winds down through kind of like the farmland, eventually goes into what appears to be this kind of wooded area.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, it was some kind of creature that did it.
Did what?
Well, folks do disappear when they go down there.
Ah. Okay, well this sounds like the right place. Would we be able to stay until it's past for a night before we go down and deal with this creature?
If you so wish, there's a tavern.
Well, I'd rather sit down and be prepared before we go in.
Have you seen any, what do you call it? Have you seen any,
I've completely forgotten that Applebi was there.
have you
Kind of
seen
walked
any-
around beside you.
Yeah.
Oh, Elliot, I sent you a message just now, by the way. It's not super important.
Okay.
But have you seen any, an Appleby just like ums and ahs for like a good like 30 seconds, and then just sort of goes, blue stones, similar to this one. And I sort of gesture without really checking if it's still out at all or not. Just
Kind
like,
of like, do you still have the transitioning stone out?
No.
No.
perfect.
I'm still just like, stood here like, fucking, okay.
Is your friend well?
I'm not sure. It's difficult to tell with all the armor.
5 inspiration. That's very funny.
I'm assuming he was talking to me.
I was, yes.
This one is fine.
Wait, which one of us are you talking to?
The armoured fellow.
I'm not wearing armor.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused.
Well, as I say, there is a tavern, if you wish to stay.
Can I insight into Tom's intelligence? Appleby's intelligence?
Yeah, go for it. Tom, give me a
Genuinely surprised.
performance or deception check, whichever you feel is more appropriate.
Cool. As to guessing my intelligence.
Yeah.
That's an 8.
As to like how Appleby conveys themselves.
Okay.
And how you want to be conveyed.
Cool.
Yeah, I got an 8, so.
20.
How do you kind of think Appleby seems intelligence-wise to an outsider? Because you'd be giving that off pretty strongly.
Completely off his nut. This guy is a complete, house of mirrors, but also maybe occasionally there's something going on in there.
Yes, if you wish to stay, you can go to the Rusty Farmhand. And he kind of points into the town square, and you can see one of the larger buildings there does appear to have this kind of swinging sign, which is depicting this kind of like farmhand, and you do see as the metal of the sign is completely rusted.
Well, do you eat or drink?
What sort of a question is that to ask a man?
I can't say I've ever met anyone like you.
Do you eat or drink?
I consume.
Oh, they consume. Well, hey, first round's on me, and I'll walk over to the tavern.
Okay, I'll gasp and an exaggerated gasp and follow.
How exasperated are we talking here?
9 out of 20. So,
Okay, right,
so like,
fairly.
but like doesn't even acknowledge or thank the orc as we go past. It's just going through.
What are both your passive perceptions?
Mine's 15.
11.
Thrall, you notice as this orcish arbiter begins to kind of not follow you per se, but you definitely see as he's kind of like watching where you go. As the two of you kind of pass through this town.
I think Thrall's very nonplussed.
Cool. And yeah, eventually you kind of reach this, what is appearing to be the largest building in the entire village, this big inn/tavern before you. You hear this kind of like rowdy noise from inside as you kind of burst in through the doors. You see this quite quite busy establishment here. It's also quite a bit fancier than you would have expected in a very small town like this. As you see this pretty nice establishment stretch out before you, and a lot of what appears to be orcish farmers, as well as a smattering of people of the other folk kind of enjoying their drinks in this tavern. It's kind of getting to late afternoon at the moment, so you think maybe kind of like people are just starting to finish work and stuff and heading to go and get some drinks.
I'm following Appleby at this point.
I will sit down at the bar. I assume there's a bar.
Yep.
I'll sit next to him.
And just sort of... I just completely sort of blankly stare at the back of the bar, not really like complete, just like lowest simulation of guys sitting at bar.
Cool. As the two of you kind of go up to the bar and sit there for a little while, eventually you see as a very well-dressed orcish lady comes up towards the two of you. One thing that does set this one apart from the rest of the orcs all around you are these two enormous horns that stick out of the top of her head. You see as they kind of I don't know what kind of horn you'd call it, like a... I don't know what the animal is, but they kind of go out and then up, almost like a springbok's horns. They're massive, and you see the two kind of white, pure white horns just go out of the head and up. As you see this lady come towards you, says, "What can I get the two of you?"
I'm very much taking your cue at this point.
What have you got that comes in a jar?
A jar? I can put anything in a jar.
We'll take 2 anythings.
Okay. And you see as she kind of goes off, gets this quite like brackish looking liquid in these 2 mason jars and like puts them in front of you. Says, "There you go."
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
And I'll just sort of nurse it a little bit.
Cool. You have this kind of like initial taste that kind of feels fishy in your mouth, but eventually as you kind of gather what it is, it appears to be some kind of brew made out of seaweed, as you find this orcish seaweed ale has been given to you in these 2 mason glasses.
Seaweed ale?
Seaweed ale, yeah.
Is it like cold, or is it just...
yeah, it's very cold, in fact. It's served cold. And yeah, it's kind of got... You actually can... Now that you like looking in and you can have had this taste, you actually kind of floating chunks of like little bits of seaweed in there. What brings you two to our town, then? Don't get many outsiders here.
Well, he brought me.
Well, let's just say I'm looking for some sort of hag.
Oh, a hag.
Aren't we all?
You must be talking about the Green Mother.
The Green Mother.
Yes, she was a hag that lived in this area. Supposedly, she still does. Haunts the forest path.
Okay. And We were told by a very handsome gentleman on the way in. I think they call themselves the Arbiter.
Oh, yes. That's actually, I believe, my husband. Yes, it is. That's Vokresh.
That answers my second question. But is this really a fairy tale? Do you believe it to be a fairy tale?
I believe in the Green Mother.
You believe
Yes.
in the Green Mother?
Someone I know was disappeared by her.
Oh.
Disappeared by her.
Well, they say she either consumes you entirely or just your face. One of the two.
I've heard that as well.
But either way, she's eating your face. Yeah.
I suppose so, yes.
Even if she's just eating the whole thing.
I suppose.
She doesn't leave the faces.
I always imagined it was her twisted logic that thought leaving just the soul to live on without a face was some kind of mercy rather than killing them. That's just my theory, though.
That's quite a theory.
Theories.
Yeah, Vokresh doesn't like me talking about this.
Okay, I find it very interesting.
Well, if you travel down the path, you might see her.
Yeah, I'm aware of the
Although you might not want to.
Is
She
there
kind of
a-
like has this big laugh after she says that.
I don't laugh at all.
I laugh for exactly as long as she does, plus 5 seconds.
One person is just laughing maniacally, and then the other's just sat there staring with dead face.
Yeah.
Well, anything else I can get for you?
Not for me, thanks. You?
I'm very well, thanks.
Not for me either. What about you?
And she kind of walks off at this point, goes to serve some other patrons that have been waiting at this point for quite a little while now, after this conversation.
Yeah. At this point, the
Stop telling him about the hag. Velcro told you not to talk about the hag.
this point, the front part of the visor comes off, and you see a very striking, strong-jawed, androgynous face, which almost, despite the ember and the kind of the emberous look, looks like it's extremely smooth skin, even with all the cracks. And takes a swig. Actually, I don't. Yeah, takes a swig and pulls a grimace.
It's not a particularly pleasant tasting drink, even if you were someone who would drink often. It's
Applebee's is already down to like the last drags. He's just been like,
Give me a con save.
yeah, all right. Con save 17.
Yeah, you're fine. You're feeling all right. This has gone down actually pretty well.
Delicious.
And what you do is you kind of like chugging this drink. You see it as this red-skinned orc kind of pushes his way through the crowd a bit. And this is actually someone you recognize. And he's kind of wearing this kind of green leotard almost as this guy kind of comes towards you and says, "Oh, you're a corpse flower." Are you?
Yeah.
I take a moment and lean back in like this kind of like embarrassed joy of like, are you?
Some have known me as that. People know me as many things.
It was one of the best shows I ever saw.
Oh, the visor was up at this point, by the way, as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it was one of the best shows I ever saw. Have you seen him? Are you his friend?
I've only just met him.
Wow. Can I have your autograph? And he kind of like has this leather chapbook kind of already ready to go with this quill inside it.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, all right. I sort of take the book, and I put it down on the bar. Finish the like dregs of the like seaweed that I've got, and the like little bits of seaweed that you said are in there. I'll chuck those in my gob as well. Chew them up, like spit on my hand, and just go like on his book. He close it and hand it back to him.
Wow, people just don't get you. This is amazing. He kind of like puts this like quickly away in his coat, and he kind of like looks you up and down and says, "Wow, what's that?" And he kind of like gesturing towards your foot. That's new.
I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, it's a memento from a friend.
Wow, that's amazing.
What's your name, Bob?
My name?
Yeah.
Tariq.
Tariq.
Yeah. I would say I'm your number one fan here in Tiller's Pass. I remember when you played here 5 years ago. That was a good night. Best night of my life.
Best night of your life.
I'd say so, yeah.
You and me both, Bob.
Wow. They say never meet your heroes, as he kind of like goes back into the crowd, kind of like, and you hear as he kind of like talks to all his friends, like points out to you, and like shows them this like.
He's wearing the green leotard as well.
He's wearing a green leotard, yeah. Kind of, you see it though in his orcish physique, kind of burly and muscular in this thing. And yeah,
what did you roll?
I rolled a D100 to see what I would need to get, to see if I could roll a D20 to see if anyone was. I have a weird system for your fame, basically. And on the roll to see if there was a person here who did know you, I got a nat 20.
Well, there we go.
So I was like, yep, superfan's here. Peek behind the curtain.
What's the guy's name?
Tariq.
Tariq Superfan.
So you know them? You know them?
I have no idea what that man was talking about.
So you're not corpse flower?
Oh no, I am corpse flower. Yeah. No, I'm corpse flower.
I never introduced myself actually. I'm known as Thrall. Thrall.
Thrall.
Yes.
And is that your name?
It's the name I got given.
Aren't all names the name you got given? By someone, even perhaps yourself.
Well, this was the name given to me by my master,
Oh, a master.
who is currently your master as well right now.
No.
Whether you would like to believe it or not, when the master calls, you don't really have a choice.
I think, well, you've got coins in your hat and hair in your purse.
I've never heard that saying before.
Yeah, many haven't.
As the two of you kind of like sit here for a little while, having your drinks, kind of time passes. You do see as Tariq kind of like, again, kind of like points to you a few more times, comes up a couple more times, asks you a few questions about your like set and what you've been doing since then, stuff like that. You can tell he doesn't want to be too annoying, but he does like...
He is
being a bit annoying, yeah.
If it was 5 years ago,
Yes.
I would have looked more or less the same, wouldn't I? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably would have been doing a little bit of a few different things, playing a few different instruments, a little bit of juggling maybe. So it would have been like a varied show.
Yeah, nice.
I think.
A little bit of a variety.
Yeah.
You see as he actually tries to juggle in front of you as well. Does really badly though. Just does not know how to juggle, it would seem. Just absolutely fucks it as he comes up to you. He's like, oh, that never happened, sorry.
It's okay.
And he kind of like picks up his balls and says, you want to go?
I don't know how.
Haha, that's funny.
Yeah, I like your outfit. Where'd you get that?
Oh, I made it.
You made it?
Yeah, I made it.
Oh,
Yeah.
could you make me one?
Yeah, I could.
Cool. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah. No.
You want it now? How long are you in town for?
How long are we in town for?
It should just be the night.
No, don't worry about it then.
Oh, I could put something together.
I didn't want to impose.
It would be my honour. You're corpse flower.
Yeah, I am. And I look at Joe's character and just sort of go,
Kind of like runs out, drops a few of the juggling balls on his way, and like you see as the bar door closes behind him. And you see as this kind of like
did you know him?
No, I'd like to know him.
Yeah.
He's quite handsome.
I liked parts of it, yeah. The outfit.
And the outfit, I wonder why.
You see, kind of at this point, as the orcish lady with the two horns kind of comes back up to you, kind of seeing this this interaction, and says, "Are you two adventurers?"
Oh, don't. Such a horrible name.
It depends on your definition of the word.
Well, are you here to stop her?
We're here to pay them a visit.
Right. Well, if you go there and, if you find anyone, would you let me know?
Who are you?
We just spoke. I told you my friend had been taken by the Green Mother.
Oh, yes.
I didn't realise it was the same. That was me. Not realising.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But it's just the bar woman.
It's the bar woman again, the wife of the arbiter you met earlier.
I don't know. We might do, we might not do. We'll do our best, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to say what will happen and what will not happen. You know, I mean, we're gonna look for the woman who eats faces, but
We can send them your way, but
Please don't.
don't.
Send the one who eats faces my way.
Oh, no, I'm not the one who eats faces.
oh no, of course not. Not the one who eats faces.
Oh,
no.
right. Yes.
Not the one that eats faces.
Well, if you find anything, my friend, she always carried a bone dagger. If you find that, it might help you find her.
Well, thank you very much for letting us know. We'll have a look. But yes, we're just there to pay a visit.
Right. You are very peculiar.
Some have said that.
I bet many have said that to you.
It's all right.
Look at your face.
Easy.
You made a
It's
soil.
it's quite an attractive man, I'll have you know. Oh, sorry,
kinda like-
identify as a...
Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
soil man.
I suppose if you're into that,
What do you mean by look at your face?
you have soil for face.
I've got soil for much more than face.
That's kind of more in my favour than yours, I think.
How do you know it's not in my favour?
Well, maybe
It's not. It's vastly not.
maybe earthworms might like to.
Yeah, well, no. Do you want worms on the surface of your skin?
That's your skin.
What? You're asking an awful lot of questions. We're just here for a blue stone. Have you seen one?
No.
Then maybe stop saying so much about my face.
How about a drink? Make up for it.
Yeah, on the house.
Have you got anything besides the seaweed drink?
I've got plenty.
Okay.
Your friend here said to surprise you, so I gave you my favourite.
What do people usually have when they come in?
Seaweed ale.
Seaweed, anything
Not a
else?
lot. Orc, kind of, they like that stuff.
What about travellers? What do they have?
Dwarvish ale, perhaps some elvish wine.
I'll have a...
Quite close to the great forest of the elves, so we get pretty good stuff here.
I'll have an elvish wine.
Okay. And you want another... What would you like on the house? Maybe you could have it to go.
Can I have half and half seaweed ale and elven ale? But can the elven ale be on the top?
Yeah, you kind of like see as she pours this out, and like these two liquids do not mix. It's this kind of like this wine kind of floats above the surface of this seaweed ale.
Thank you.
It's kind of like screws on a to-go lid.
No. That won't be necessary.
I think it's time for you to go. Says Elliot.
Yeah, we get
Okay, yeah.
We put the to-go lids on.
Yeah, we put the together lids on. Neither of us wanted to.
Yeah. God, this session's gonna go on forever.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the Woodland Path. I know the way. I don't know why we asked.
Why we went in.
you knew the way from becoming into the sea.
Okay, yeah, let's go to the Woodland Path.
Look, let's go. Okay.
Cool. So as you pass back through the town, you do see a smattering of other shops, most notably a livestock sales yard. And as you hear this kind of like loud livestock sale going on, as you pass through, you see a trapper's shop called Hunter's Virtue. And that's all the other shops that you actually... Oh, and a general store. Yes.
I've not really got any gold, I don't think, so I'm just happy to just...
So what was it? It was a trapper's shop and...
The trapper's shop, a general store, and a livestock sales yard.
Do you want anything from this general store or from the trapper's lodge?
Perhaps like a little, like a lunchy biscuit bar.
Okay, I can get... I'll go in. I'm going to go in anyway, so I'll get you that. Stay here.
Here.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Walk off into the store.
Cool. Yeah, you do so. You see you're met here by another orcish fellow. Kind of greets you. Oh, hello.
Good. What time of day is it here? Is it morning or afternoon?
It's kind of early afternoon.
Good afternoon. What potion? Do you have any potions?
I've got a common healing potion.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Anything else, or?
Got food, rations.
You got any biscuits?
There's some ration biscuits.
I'll take some of those as well, please.
Very well.
We'll take the common healing potion.
Yep. Okay, that'll be 30 gold pieces.
30 gold. I give him 30 gold.
Cool.
And then I just get out before I have to do anything else.
Cool. Yeah, you do so. You pass out of the store and you kind of see Appleby standing there on the street, getting a few looks from a lot of the people who live in this town. As you're kind of stood there, kind of leaning against the wall. Most people seem to be kind of like doing a double take as they pass by you, and you do also see Tariq while you thought he was going to go back to do the outfit at home, you see as he actually from where you are, he runs back into the inn with his sewing supplies. A few minutes later, you see as he kind of like walks back out, a bit disheartened, back towards his home with his sewing supplies again.
As I approach, I hand in the common healing potion.
Hand me the common healing potion. Ooh.
And the biscuits.
Yeah. Sweet, thank you.
I don't know if they're good enough, but they're the only one they had.
What about for you?
What?
So as you take these biscuits and this healing potion
anything.
and begin to head down this forest path, do you have a marching order? Would one of you go ahead of the other? Would one of you go behind?
Appleby will lead this time.
Appleby will lead?
Like
really?
full stride on.
Okay. Cool. Give me a survival check as you head down this woodland path.
Ooh. 9.
9? Okay, yeah, it's a fairly simple path to follow, and you just kind of keep following it, and it's for about an hour until you kind of are met by this, as you kind of travel through these fields, as it gets more and more tree heavy, as eventually the path kind of, you do see, kind of goes into unbroken canopy before you, into this kind of fir-treed forest before you.
Cool. You still got that biscuit bar?
Yes, you wanted?
No, but you should probably have it to keep your wits about you.
Oh, don't worry, I don't need a biscuit bar. I'll be fine.
Oh. I mean, I got it for you.
Well, that's oddly kind of you.
If you're not going to have it,
Would you like it?
well, I'll take it if you're not.
There you go. Here you go.
Okay.
Hand it over.
Have this very dry, wheaty biscuit bar. You can see that it's actually baked fresh in the village from the farm, like supplies that they get are obviously very fresh into that town. So it's a pretty good quality little wheaty biscuit.
It's a pretty good quality little wheaty biscuit.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what we're looking for in here. We're just going to walk around and find a hag.
Well, I mean, there's worse things to do.
From what you know, she does haunt the forest path.
Okay, so if we walk down here and we're like Oh no. Don't haunt me.
We need to do a performance.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Appleby gets out a few juggling balls. It's like,
Okay.
Do you start juggling? Do you just head into the woods?
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, as you kind of like start, you see as Appleby just starts juggling and just strides into the darkened canopy before you.
Helmet comes on.
Cool.
And carry on following.
You both dark vision.
Yeah.
You do
Dark vision.
vision of the dark.
I don't think I do, but I've got Skulker, which means that dim light doesn't impose this. But
Cool.
if it's like dark,
It is quite dark as you know, it was kind of like, I'd say, just getting into mid-afternoon as you would have entered this foresty area.
Just it. Just 3 green dots.
Yeah, I can't see shit.
Cool, and yeah, it's almost like a different environment as you kind of go into these this heavy kind of tree-covered area as you begin heading down this forest path. Appleby, would you be able to give me one more survival check to see if you can kind of stay on the path and keep going? And if either of you one of you could give me a perception check as well as you are looking for any signs of this hag.
It was a 1 to stay on the path, bro.
It was a 13 for perception.
Cool. Pretty quickly on, you get fairly lost. Appleby is leading the way juggling, and you think he's maybe paying a bit more attention to the juggling than he is to the navigating, and you very quickly realize you're going in some kind of circle as you reach a tree that you have definitely seen before. After this, only about 10 minutes through walking in this forest, you've kind of somehow managed to go in a complete circle. You kind of turn to look the way you thought you came into the forest, and you can't see a path there now.
Okay.
What's the matter?
Well, I thought we were back where we started, but the exit is not here. So,
It sounds like a good sign to me.
well, it sounds like we're being haunted. Yeah.
Good performance, I guess.
Yeah.
Both of you could give me an Arcana check to see if you can figure out what the heck is going on here.
Oh, that's a 12.
Oh no, that's crooked. That's not good.
What kind of duo are we?
7.
Cool. You kind of both look around mystified by this forest. You kind of like are both starting to get a little bit panicked actually now that you can't see the path back out and it's just this kind of tree shrouded area. You kind of walk back down this pathway that you now kind of see extends before you, and it's completely different to even the bit you thought circled round back on itself a minute ago.
Again, somewhere new.
Could you both give me a perception check as well?
Ooh, that's better.
5.
5? Cool.
Passive perception is great.
20
Perception,
non-natural.
not good.
20 non-natural. You get the inkling that something is watching you here. You're not quite sure what, and you definitely can't actually see anything, but you just kind of get this prickle on the back of your soil that makes you feel like there's some eyes on you.
Hey, Thrall.
Yes, Appleby.
I get a little bit closer and just sort of whisper like, I think my juggling has gained us an audience.
Okay. Slightly tilt my head.
Can I sort of feel where they're watching us from, maybe, or?
Give me a second either perception or investigation check.
It's not as good.
Can I do investigation?
9.
Yeah, sure.
It's 25.
25. You kind of are looking around, and now you also get this pretty strong sense that something is watching you here. From your kind of investigation check, you don't really notice any signs of it other than this kind of deep down feeling, kind of leading you to realize whatever you think is hunting you here or watching you here is very stealthy currently.
It is, I can feel it and I'm pretty sure it's here, but
So
It is very, very hidden.
for like a moment, Appleby catches all of the balls and stops juggling, just sort of puts them away. Just like, oh, how I love to have a face on the front of my head. It'd be such a shame if something were to take the face off the front of my head. Oh, and just continues to just sing this little song.
Are you just staying where you are, or would you move?
Just sort of like strolling around in a little, a small, let's say like 5 foot circle.
Yeah, you kind of.
I'm in this. I think I'm either in the middle or just watching from the outside, just like.
Oh, how I like to keep my face upon my head. Oh, how I like to keep my face upon my head.
As you're kind of circling around doing this singing, Thrall, you're kind of watching this. You are caught completely unaware as this growl comes from directly behind you. And before you know it, this thing is jumping into your face. It's going to get a surprise round right now, as I use my natural 20 on its stealth check to sneak up on you. But as you kind of spin, hearing this growl, you see this feline thing coming at you with tentacles surrounding its kind of mangy head, as this creature of the Feywild has appeared to have found you in its sights. Could you both roll initiative for me as this displacer beast comes out of the woods?
Oh, jeez. It's, a 9.
A 9.
15 from me.
Caught me very off guard.
Okay. Thrall, what'd you get?
9.
Thrall got a 9. Appleby, what'd you get?
15.
Cool.
This is the day we die.
Cool. Getting its surprise round off, the displacer beast is going to try and rend you with its, it actually uses its tentacles. As you see, as you kind of like spin, turning this thing, but reacting far too slowly, as one of these kind of pseudopod-like tentacles that are coming out of this otherwise kind of panther-like form lashes at you as you turn. But I don't know if that's going to be a hit. That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Sorry, Joe.
Sorry, that's on Thrall, yes.
Oh, Thrall.
Yeah.
That doesn't hit.
Cool, yeah, is it just this pseudopodic-like tentacle comes out your arm and just clangs off of it. It's going to make its second attack. That's a little bit better, and I think that's going to hit. That's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Cool.
I'm in plate.
Cool, and that's going to deal you 10... 13 damage as this pseudopod just tears across you with these weird, instead of suckers on the end of this kind of tentacle, it's got almost like these claw-like appendages as this thing just comes at you and scratches, kind of finding the weak points in your artificer armor. Mm-hmm. Going into full initiative now, this thing actually gets its go again, as it is top of the initiative order with a 19. So it's going to attempt to just attack you again as it's in your sights. First one's going to be a miss with a 10. And the second one is going to be another hit. Rolled much worse on the damage that time though. So that's just going to be a further 10 damage on that one.
10.
As that is its multi-attack done. Up next is Appleby. You see as this kind of panther-like creature has just come out of the woods and struck Thrall twice across the chest with its kind of tentacles.
Okay. I'm pretty taken aback. Is Thrall still like standing, or has he been literally knocked bowled off his feet?
Thrall's still standing.
Yeah.
But he's just taken
great.
2 pretty big, pretty
not looking
nasty
good at
hits.
Okay. I am going to. There's like a couple of options, and it's like, do I do the kind of useful thing, or do I do the very Appleby thing that might be useful?
Do Appleby.
Yeah, okay. Appleby is going to sort of like look very carefully at this this sort of creature and create create just behind where it is looking. So if it's looking towards Thrall, just behind Thrall, so it's in its eye line, I'm going to sort of wave my hands and do a bit of the old, like, one of these. Make it look like my fingers come off and cast Silent Image. And a very large image of a similar creature to this one is going to appear behind Thrall, but with a person's face.
Holy shit.
And it's just going to stare this thing down.
Cool. Sweet. Fucking hell. Well, something will happen to this thing on its turn after seeing that.
Cool.
Anything else you'd like to do? That was your main action, I think?
That was my main action.
Yep. Got a bonus and any movement you might want to do.
Is Vicious Mockery a bonus? It's not, is it?
I don't think so.
No, it's a main action. I'll just vibe it out.
Okay. Just going to vibe it out.
Watch the scene as it unfolds.
Cool. Thrall, you're up next. The Displacer Beast is on deck.
It's an action to disengage, right?
It's an action to disengage, yeah.
I chose the wrong armor for this. I'm going to use my action to disengage and try and run basically 35 feet away from it.
Okay, yeah. That's possible, you do so.
And
oh shit, can I bonus action give you a bardic inspiration? Sorry.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
I forgot that I'm a bard.
The end of the song about your face is very inspiring.
somehow.
So wise is the young man who said, I like my face while it's on my head. Actually, fair play. Chew.
I do like having a face.
Can I take back that disengage, actually?
Yes, absolutely.
I take back the disengage. Bonus action change weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pull out the blunderbuss on my back.
Yep, nice.
Oh no.
And fire straight at the face.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, sweet. It's a short range weapon, so it doesn't have disadvantage in close combat. So yeah, just give me a attack roll.
That's a 19 to hit.
Nice. That definitely hits this thing.
Oh, fucking hell. This might hurt it a good amount.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, eh?
So it's 2, so that's 11 damage.
Nice. Is that with the +1 from Arcane, your Arcane Infusion as well? Cool.
Yeah.
And plus your dex to the damage?
Yeah.
Cool, sweet. So 11 damage.
Yeah.
You roar off this massive shot with the blunderbuss. It does definitely hit this thing actually, you need to roll at disadvantage because it's a displacer beast. I'm sorry, I forgot to say.
Oh, it would be 19.
Cool, yeah, it does hit. And you see, even as this thing is kind of avoiding you with this almost second image of itself, you can pretty accurately pinpoint down your kind of like helm lenses lock onto the real displacer beast, and your kind of blunderbuss just locks on and you fire away, embedding this arcane ammunition into this panther-like creature. Anything you'd like to do for your bonus action?
Bonus was the blunderbuss, I think.
Yep. Oh, okay. That was change weapon, and then shooting. Movement, or are you just going to stay up with it?
How far is it? It'll take an attack of opportunity.
It probably will take an attack of opportunity. You'd think if you try to disengage with it now.
Fuck it, I'm going to run 35 feet.
Cool. It gets its reaction. Miss with a 12.
Yeah.
As you there's one of this tentacle comes out to try and grab you on the shoulder almost, but it just comes off your large shoulder pad, not be able to find any purchase, and you run 35 feet away.
Yeah.
Cool. It's seeing that and seeing you as it just like shot you. It's gonna try and make a decision between the now 3 targets it can see. This weird singing thing. This thing that
It doesn't make a sound. Oh, the weird singing thing is
the weird singing thing is you. The thing that looks like it with a human face, or the guy that just shot it. So I'm gonna roll a dice here. See which one it goes for. Oh, cool. I rolled high, so it's going to go for the weird thing that looks like it's it with a human face. As you see this kind of like, it almost gets territorial, like 2 cats fighting, as this thing begins to like circle around this other weird looking displacer beast. And you see this kind of like low moan kind of emanate from the real displacer beast as it jumps onto where the fake one is, and it just goes straight through
doesn't
it.
hold up to any sort of tampering. Yeah.
So it just goes like straight into it. And you see it's almost like a cat with a laser. It tries to like bat down and find like where this thing actually is, eventually realizing it's not real at all. And kind of turns back and is going to run up to you, Appleby. It can't make any more attacks, but it is now kind of on your it's run up to you, seeing that your illusion is in fact fake.
Cool.
But that's its turn. Back to Appleby. You've got this thing in your face now.
Sweet. Okay. I'm going to stop concentrating on the image because it's sort of run its course. So it's just going to go like and then like fizzle out.
It like goes like and then it like twirls off like a balloon deflating.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so I do that, and then I sort of as this horrible cat is running towards me, Appleby under his breath will sort of whisper, and hundreds of voices and whispers will fill this cat's head.
Oh, nice.
As Appleby says, death twitched his ear. Live, for I am coming. And that just repeats over and over in this cat's head, in this displacer beast's head.
What do I need to do here?
It is a whiz save.
This dissonant whispers?
Yeah.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, indeed.
Cool. Definitely fails with a 3.
Cool. It feels a terrible pain. And I mean, I don't know if it would understand common or anything like that, but
it can certainly feel pain, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. And it takes 14 psychic damage.
Nice. You see as this thing kind of like whimpers as this like ripple of pain seems to go through its body. This thing about the size of a large dog, kind of like cowers away from you slightly.
It also, it cowers away from me more than just slightly. It must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
I think it used its reaction this turn already. No, it hasn't.
This is a new round.
Yeah, this is a new turn. So yeah, it does
short round. It moves as far as it possibly can away from
Cool,
me.
it does so, meaning you'd get an attack opportunity if you'd like to take it.
Cool. I will just swipe a dagger at it if I may.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of juggle it into your hand as you're still juggling and try and stab at it.
Nah, I'm going to miss. It's a 7 to hit.
7 to hit with bonuses?
Yeah.
Cool. You see as it now kind of like turns tail and flees from you as well. You see that this displacer beast seems to be getting on a bit in age. You actually see now kind of patches of its fur are beginning to grey, and like it looks a bit mangy and a bit like if it were equivalent in cats, like it was getting on a little bit. Okay. As it moves its full distance away from you, which is 40 feet away.
Wow. Okay. Does it go past Joe as well when it's moving away from it?
It wouldn't, no. It would just be running straight away. You see, is it now kind of, you're not really in a clearing per se, but it's sort of at the edge of your kind of visual limit now as it's run a bit into the trees as it's tried to get away from you.
Cool. We should try and follow it. We should make haste, maybe.
Thrall, you're up.
So it's what, 40 feet?
It's 40 feet away from you. You can just about see it here. You actually are sort of okay because you've got dark vision up to 60 feet, so you can kind of see where it's going in this dark forest.
I'm gonna lower my blunderbuss to my right arm.
Nice.
Put out my left arm. And then a spark of lightning will just astro out forwards towards the target.
Sweet. What does it need to do?
It doesn't need to do anything. I need to make an attack roll.
Cool.
That's that's a 14.
14. That hits.
Oh, thank God.
Hey-oh.
And because of this, you can get so it's 2d6 lightning. So that's 10, 15 damage.
Nice.
As I just aim down the arm a bit, and then a lightning bolt just goes straight. Just a single bolt that just flashes out and immediately temporarily blinds everyone until it kind of calms down and just hits this beast running.
Nice. What kind of color would your lightning be? Standard or?
Probably standard, actually, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Appleby, you certainly see as this person you're fighting with had this gun in hand, and they drop it to one side as their arm extends, and this power radiates through it, emanating in a lightning bolt, casting out of the end of their fist and catching this displacer beast on the rear as it's fleeing from you. Up next is displacer beast. What does it do now? Does it continue to be afraid? That's it? Cool. It's going to run its speed back then, seeing this damage taken, and it's actually going to go for you again, Appleby.
Oh.
But I'll say now that you've actually moved into position, Thrall, you would be able to get an attack of opportunity because it would come through your space to try and get back to Appleby.
Yep, can I do it with my blunderbuss?
You can. No, so I think it has to be a melee attack.
It has to be melee.
Yeah.
Can I do my claw?
You can do your claw, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do my claw to attack.
Nice.
As you'll see out of the left glove as it comes, it's very quickly, but obviously these kind of almost very thin blades that peter out to like almost a point, just go in and go for an attack. And
Nice.
That is 17 to hit.
That hits. As this thing's running past you, again, Appleby, you see as another contraption springs out of the armor of Thrall. These needle-like attachments on its glove just sink into the side of the displacer beast.
So that's 5 damage.
5 more damage. Nice. You're going to use one of your things on that?
I'll regain.
Cool. You see, as this attack goes off, the smoke that kind of is always slightly occluding Thrall gets a lot thicker and stronger and a bit more red in kind of color as this begins to like flow out of the gaps and slight joints in their armor as this kind of smoky presence begins to fill the air, and you kind of can taste the tang of iron with that as this kind of like smell emanates out.
Bit gross.
As this displacer beast is now going to come for you, Appleby. First one's going to be a miss with an 11, but I think the second one is going to hit with a 23.
Yeah, that weirdly,
That will hit.
as a level 1 character.
Oh, I nearly rolled the minimum damage though. I rolled a 1 and a 2 on those dice, so I think you're going to be okay just about, which is lucky. So that's going to be 5, that's 7 damage.
Oh my goodness.
What are you on?
2?
2? Nice. Cool. That's its go. Back to you, Appleby.
Oh, fucking hell.
You can do it.
Well, I've done both of my spells that I have, so... shit. I'm going to just viciously mock this sucker.
Cool. What do you say to this displacer beast? Or what kind of emotion do you try to portray to it?
I sort of just speak like a bunch of sounds, like just sort of like... but the emotion that I convey to this displacer beast is just one of death and rot and decay.
Oh my God.
And just like, you will rejoin the earth, basically.
Okay, cool. What do you got to do here?
I actually don't even remember. I should have
from a
checked.
distance, and I'm just hearing like, and I'm just like,
What's happening?
It's got to succeed on a whiz
It
save.
makes a whiz save. Cool. That That is going to be a 12 on its whiz save.
Okay, what is my spell safety? It's 13.
Nice. It fails.
It takes 3 psychic damage, and the next attack on it is at advantage. Oh no, sorry, it's got disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Cool. It's good thing you're throwing a lot of savey things at this.
It is a good thing.
How much damage did you steal?
3.
Cool. I should have said from the last attack as well, it was bloodied.
Sweet.
As you see... now it's to... Anything else in your turn, Appleby? That was your main action, I think. Right?
Yeah, so I just look at it and I will say, like, we're looking for a blue gem!
You've also got that healing potion.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bob that healing potion.
You can do that as a bonus action.
D4 plus.
Common is D4 plus 4.
I think so. I should really know this.
Me the fuck too.
I think it's 2d4 plus 4. Yeah, 2d4 plus 2, in fact.
2d4 plus 2?
2d4 plus 2 for a common healing potion, apparently.
2d4?
2d4 plus 2.
2?
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy.
3, 5.
Cool, you get 5 hit points back.
Yeah. Right as rain.
Sweet. Thrall, you're up.
All right.
This displaced beast is now in front of Appleby. And you can see it's actually been wounded fairly heavily.
How far away am I?
You're about 15 feet.
It's being
It's
psychic.
just kind of gone
fine.
past you.
That's fine.
Yeah?
Let's go again.
Lightning blast again?
Lightning blast.
Do it.
Again.
I should have said last time, I keep forgetting, but you'll be at disadvantage on this attack as you kind of see these 2 images of this displacer beast.
Okay. I'll do this anyway. That's good. That's 22.
22? Nice.
Yes.
That still hits.
So
More
that's,
than.
Again. That's pretty good damage. So that's 17 damage. No, 16 damage.
16 damage. Nice.
Yeah, 16 damage, and then I really don't have anything on my bonuses. I didn't choose my spells well.
I'd allow you to throw your dagger if you like.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, because I'd say you've made a weapon attack with your armor. So yeah, I'd say as a bonus
Okay.
you could fling your dagger.
So outside, after the shot comes out, you
Yeah.
just see as a single blade comes out the top and then just shoots straight out.
Nice. Cool.
and
Because you already hit with an attack, it doesn't have disadvantage anymore as you've locked on as these kind of 2 forms like shunt into one. As now you can see where the real displacer beast definitely is.
Okay, nice.
Just a regular attack.
So that's 15 to hit.
Hits.
That's good. So that's
Nice.
4 damage.
Cool.
And
So
now
painful to only be doing like 4 damage a hit.
stay back.
Stay back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, no, I'll run up to it.
Run up to
Into
it.
its space.
Cool. You do so.
Try and get between it and Appleby.
Nice. On its turn, seeing that it's now bloodied and taken a fair amount of damage, it's actually going to attempt to run away. As you see this thing turn and flee, you're both welcome to make attacks of opportunity against it if you want, as it's going to try and dash away from you.
Claw.
Cool.
Rawr.
I'm gonna try and dagger it as well.
Cool.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Nat 20.
That
Nice.
fucking is really helpful.
That is very good.
I only got 10 to hit.
Oh no.
Only 10 to hit.
Yeah.
You kind of like swing for it, and you kind of are distracted almost as these kind of claws come out of Thrall's armor again, stab into this thing's butt as it's kind of running away. You're going to empower again.
They really gouge it. So
Yeah.
it's 4 plus.
You'll get 4 straight up because that's the dice.
Yeah. And then
Yep.
plus 1 because fuck
Cool.
me. And then plus 3 for Constitution modifier. So
Nice.
That's, it's 9.
9. Nice. Yeah, you get that. You're going
And
to
then I
regain
get
that.
5, yeah.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, and you see once again as this claws go in, and you give me a perception check as you see this happen.
Nat 1, I don't see
Now,
it.
cool. Yeah. The only thing again you see is this kind of like iron tang smoke. This kind of reddish black smoke begin to pour out of the gaps in the armor again as this claw mechanism goes in.
It's not dead though.
It's not dead as you see it kind of run now 80 feet into the
forest.
He's getting
away.
I'm just gonna crack my fingers because this would be a perfect time to do it.
in a similar direction to where this kind of path is leading, but not the exact same way. As you see, it's kind of gone off the path.
Is it like bleeding quite heavily?
It's bleeding very heavily at this
We
point.
could track its blood then, maybe.
Can I see it from this distance?
No, it's gone 80 feet now away from you because it dashed.
That's probably honestly a better outcome because now we can track
Yeah.
it easier. It will be an
That's
easier
true.
fight later. And hopefully it'll
We
take
can-
us to wherever this blue stone is.
Yeah, that's true. Let's follow it.
As this thing kind of wanders off into the jungle, I think we'll take a very short break there just because it's getting quite warm in this room as well.
Well, it is, yeah.
So we'll be back very, very shortly. It'll just be a very quick break, probably 5 minutes or so. And then we'll be back for the finale of this. See you soon.
Cheers.
Yeah.
There we go. Hello, everyone.
We're back.
We're back. We're better than ever. It's Tales from Ellseworld. If you don't know what's going on, it's no. I will actually tell you because it's the first time we're doing it. Tom missed the last session of Ellseworld with his character Appleby Okewoode.
Sorry, I was just adjusting.
It's all good. And so he was kidnapped by our lovely Ferretz's character here, who is taken Appleby on a magical adventure into to a small town called Tiller's Pass that has led them on the quest to find a stone that supposedly this hag has. Who would have thought? Me. I made this session. As you've kind of traversed on this forest pass, you were ambushed by a displacer beast that seemed to come out of nowhere, very stealthily finding you, being that I used our Patreon Nat 20, so thank you very much to our patrons for that. As a encounter played out, you managed to fend off this displacer beast as it ran wounded back into the woodlands, somewhat adjacent to this pathway that you were following that has led you into this seemingly mystical part of the forest where this path just doesn't seem to really make sense anymore.
Well,
After you.
no, I was just going to say, have you still got that biscuit from earlier?
Is now the time?
Um,
I'm not even got the word to run. So here you go. Put that under the biscuit.
Sweet. It just starts crumbling this.
Cool. Yeah, you have this nice
biscuit.
crumbly biscuit, kind of mixes in with all the soil around your face as it goes everywhere. It's like one of those granola bars where you
one of
like
the
open the
Nature
packet
Valley.
and it just, there's crumbs everywhere. As this, thing has run off into the woods and you are stuck here. What would you like to do?
We should follow the blood.
Couldn't have said it better. I just walk.
Cool. One of you can either give me a survival check or... you could both give me a survival check or one of you can give it to me at advantage.
Yeah.
My survival's dog shit, so do you want to take it?
Mine's... Yeah, I'll do it. Why not?
Oh, yours is actually worse than mine.
16.
16? Cool, yeah. With how wounded this displacer beast was, you do manage to pick up these pools of blood, kind of helping each other out, where the other one kind of is falling short in your kind of tracking skills, as you can pretty easily track that this blood follows a very similar route to the pathway. As you kind of are following it for a little while, you can see kind of the pathway adjacent to you. Seemingly, as you're following this blood, not getting lost anymore as you aren't using this pathway. You follow this for about 20 minutes or so as you are led out into this clearing that starts slowly making its way through the trees. It's incredibly dark here, despite the fact that the trees seem to be opening out before you. But you do see as the canopy is still completely unbroken in a way that doesn't really make sense. It's almost as if the trees are bending in, creating this almost dome of fir trees in this clearing that is preventing sunlight from coming in, but also allowing this large space to have opened out in the middle of this forest. You see before you atop a colossal pile of bones, a overgrown and run-down looking hut in the center of this clearing. There's a very faint light emanating out from the small windows and a small windowed door that you can see on one side of the hut. as you kind of as you kind of slowly approach this clearing, you do actually see as this whole pile of bones, with ones ranging from the size of kind of very small bird bones to what you think would be the bones of some giant creatures, begins to rotate, and the door turns towards you as this pile of bones with this hut on top turns its way as you come closer and closer to this clearing. So the door is about lining up to where you would enter this clearing as you approach the very edge of it.
Shit. Any sign of beastie?
You see as this trail of blood has been clearly kind of like gone over these bones, but as this hut has kind of like turned on this pile of bones, there's been almost this landslide of clattering bones coming down this thing, and the path of the blood gets a bit more muddy, but you can definitely see it's crossed this kind of mossy, bony wasteland that is between you and this hut.
Okay, so it looks like it's gone towards the hut as well.
It looks like it's... give me another perception check.
Cool.
Or investigation, actually.
It's poor.
No.
4.
Cool. Not sure. It's been here, though, in this clearing.
Okay. Let's...
As you kind of stood on the edge of the clearing, would you go any further?
Because the door's right in front of us, right?
The door's not right in front of you. It's kind of like in this... this hut is kind of in the center of this clearing. It's probably about 20 feet away from you. Between you and it is a mound of bones, almost making this small hill.
And it's facing right at us.
The door of the hut is now facing directly at you.
I'm going to take some steps to the side.
Cool. As you take some steps to the side, it kind of turns a little bit so that it's almost equidistant between where you and Appleby are.
And then I walk back to Appleby.
And it kind of, again, turns to being facing pretty much directly where the both of you are.
It seems whoever's there is expecting us. I'd say we just go in.
Maybe they'll have tea.
Maybe. And just start walking.
Cool. As you kind of cross the boundary of this...
I figured it had to do with Appleby.
as you kind of cross the boundary of this clearing and you step onto these bones, you see as the door of this cabin creaks open, this... with seemingly darkness greeting you from within, despite the fact that it appears that there was light emanating out from the windows. As the door opens, even you can only see darkness within, as you begin kind of crunching across this pile of bones.
I'm going to walk in anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to keep a quick eye out for any blue anything, any flashes of blue anywhere.
Cool. Once you get inside, are you looking for them out here or once you get inside?
Just amongst the bones
cool.
as we walk.
Give me another perception check.
Once again, a 4.
Another 4. Don't seem to see any stones. You're kind of very distracted by these bones. You kind of see a couple that you think would actually make quite good juggling sticks, and that kind of really takes your fancy for a few moments before you kind of step on a couple of them and they shatter. These bones kind of ranging from what appear to be quite old to quite fresh, with some having these plants almost growing through them, especially some of the bigger ones. Some of these bones have been here for a very, very long time. And as you approach this hut, you can also see that despite this bone pile that it is sat upon, plants have still managed to make its way to this hut. And coming out through the bones, this whole hut, the outside of it, is covered in this viney growth. And you can also see this door is kind of threaded with vines that go through it and the handle, and have also... excuse me, from what you can see, have made this door open for you, as these vines are kind of holding it open as they've kind of grown around this door. As you are kind of right up in the doorway, you do see just kind of this very dark interior space before you. And are you going to go inside?
Just before we do, Appleby is really committing a lot of this to memory. I think the bones and the vine vibe is very exciting and intriguing to him, so he's just really taking it all in.
Cool.
So he probably wouldn't be the first one to walk in if you wanted to.
I think I'm almost the opposite. I'm not taking in the surroundings really. I'm just I'm going in and I'm gonna get this thing.
Cool. Yeah,
you like chalk and cheese, aren't we?
Yeah. You do, as you kind of both stand at the door. Appleby, you're kind of looking around, taking it all in. Thrall, you just step inside and you're greeted by a slightly strange sight. Despite the hut looking quite small from the outside, maybe 10 foot by 10 foot, it seems to stretch as far as your dark vision can see in here. And what is strange about it is, despite the fact you're inside now, you can see tree stumps and what looks like a forest stretching out before you. You kind of look back out through the door and you can still see the clearing behind you. But in here, it is almost like you are back in the forest as you see plants growing through the detritus of someone living in a place for far too long. You see broken glassware all over the floor in the kind of range of your dark vision. You see tattered old and rotting books. You see what appears to be a pile of bedding in one kind of corner of this room. As you kind of like scan around this room, could you give me another perception check as see if you can see some of the other things in here?
That's a 2.
That's a 2. So you're kind of like looking around this room. You're kind of like looking for anything that might be moving, any kind of shapes or anything like that. And as you do this, you hear this voice emanating out of the darkness. Why have you come to seek the Eater of Faces?
Do we both hear this?
You, Appleby, from outside the hut, you'd hear this kind of echoing sound coming from inside the hut, and as you hear this kind of voice ringing out. Your helmet would be down at this point, I think, I would assume.
Yeah, once, because I couldn't see, I would have taken it down.
Yep.
Except the visor. I call it, I think you know why I'm here.
I have no idea. Are you here to bring me a face?
Look at Appleby. Can I see Appleby in the doorway?
You can see Appleby kind of silhouetted in the doorway there.
I mean, if it comes to it, but I'm here to seek a specific gem you may or may not have.
A gemstone.
Mm-hmm.
And you begin to feel this kind of clicking coming across the surface of the floor here. You're not quite sure what the surface is, being that you're kind of in this kind of liminal space that doesn't appear to be inside, doesn't appear to be outside. But you hear this kind of this noise of insectoid legs as you see coming out of the darkness what appears to be the body of a giant millipede that stretches up into the torso of what appears to be a humanoid figure with this deep green skin, these kind of twin mandibles on the side of what appears to be an otherwise human face. But the human face that it is wearing is a completely different shade to the rest of the skin of its kind of humanoid torso, which is, like I said, this kind of pale green skin, whereas the face it is wearing is this sort of tanned olive complexion and appears to be somewhat elfin in appearance as this creature comes towards you out of the darkness and gets very, very close to you. You do not have a face that I want. You and your face are not truly alive. Are you? And this thing kind of like begins to almost curl its very long body. This thing kind of in total is about 3 meters in length.
Wow.
With only, the kind of human portion of its torso in kind of human proportions. It almost, curls the lower half of its body around you, looking very closely at your head. And then you see Appleby as this thing, you can't quite make it out in the darkness, but you can see this squirming shape in there, looks towards you and then suddenly scuttles forth towards you. And you can suddenly see this face before you with these kind of 2 mandibles and this otherwise elfin, looking almost female face, staring you dead in the eyes. Doesn't seem to cross the threshold of this cabin and looks very closely at you. And you don't have a face at all.
Well, no, that's not technically true.
Do you remember your face?
Bit of a sensitive subject.
If you don't remember it and you can't see it, does it exist? As it says this, it kind of like scuttles back into the room and kind of goes back again. Kind of.
I hear that?
You hear this whole conversation. Okay. It's Appleby's only about 5 or 10 feet behind you at this
Okay.
point. So as it was kind of doing that, its back portion of its body would have still been pretty much next to you. As you see now, as it kind of like reverses back around you to kind of like converse with you again. Again, part of its body kind of coiled around you, not constricting in any way, shape, or form. It's not actually touched you at all, but this thing is not shy, let's say that. As it gets very close to your kind of helmeted head again, this stone you want. How bad do you want it?
I'll do anything to get it for my master.
Well, I have something. And I think I have the thing. I have something I want, and I think I have the thing that you want. Mm-hmm. The stone, the sapphire, the moonstone.
Yes, that is the one. I must at least see it.
I sort of shout into the hat. Can I sort of still hear this?
You can hear the conversation. It's pretty difficult for you to see inside there.
That sounds like it was pretty easy. Are you the Green Mother?
No, that was my mother.
Oh.
My dear mother. She passed.
I'm sorry to hear, as I've heard.
She was a great and powerful being. She left me this place. She gave me everything, including this stone of yours from the moon. You see, it kind of like begins to uncoil from you and starts to kind of slowly go back into the darkness, kind of the dark reaches of this woodscape that is inside his hut. And returns a few moments later with, in his kind of humanoid hands, this skull with this kind of matted hair coming off of the scalp. And as he raises it by the hair, you see this skull with the one eye missing as normal, but in the other left-hand socket, you see this dazzling blue sapphire in the eye socket. This is my mother's head. She used the sapphire, as you can see. She has no use for it anymore. And I have no use for this. I tell you what I do want, though. I want a face. Would you get that for me?
You might be asking the wrong.
Oh, I don't want your faces. I want a specific face.
A specific face.
A specific face.
The blood thickens. Like, my Thrall gets kind of a wry smile. Or actually, no, he's wearing the mask, you can't really tell. You can see it in his eyes.
Okay.
He's like lighting up a little bit. So what specific face are we talking about?
You came from the village, Tiller's Pass, did
Yes.
you not? There is an orc there,
No.
named Threkfar Bloodbringer.
Oh, thank God.
Is that audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a lover of mine. I saved him from this place. He got ever so lost in the realm of the Fae. But I guided him back here. And he was with me for a while. And after a few years of our acquaintance, he stopped coming back. He stopped getting lost. And I observed him with a new family in Tiller's Pass. And you see, this was very clever of him, for while we were together, I had promised him to never harm a member of his family or bloodline. But I never said anything about the two of you.
Yeah, well, how could you? You've only met us today.
How indeed. Fetch me this betrayer's face, and you shall have your stone.
Okay, I'll see you soon. I'll just start walking.
As sort of Joe walks back to me, I'll sort of just shout into this empty house, still without sort of walking in. Sort of like this really seems like a sort of thing that you should maybe be doing personally.
I said I would not harm him. I made a deal. As we are making a deal.
Oh, I wouldn't call it a deal. Maybe like a casual arrangement.
As you say, kind of deal as well, you see closer, before you reach the door as well, this thing kind of gets between you and Appleby as it gets very close into your face. Would you like to make a deal? Faceless one.
Oh, that's a deal. You stop calling me that.
What would you prefer?
Some have known me as Corpse Flower. Some have known me as Applebi Okewoode.
Corpse flower seems fitting for this place, as he kind of gestures around to this boneyard and this plant life that is growing through it. And he kind of then turns to you, Thrall, and says, "You seem committed to your task, and allow me to help you. I have no reason to hinder you further." And you see as behind you, this kind of light begins to emanate out of the otherwise darkness of the hut. And you actually see beneath your feet now what appears to be a pathway. And as you look down it as it reaches what would seem to be further into the hut, you can see the tree clearing break, and you can see the pathway leading back up through the fields, back into the village of Tiller's Pass, through the cabin. Take my path. It'll be much quicker.
Thank you very much. Appleby, are you coming in?
Be my guest. As you see all of the arms on one side of the centipede gesture in, the ones that aren't touching the ground anyway.
Well, you see, I was going to wait until I was invited in, but now that I have been invited in, I don't want to.
You probably don't want to go back out there alone.
Who said I'm alone?
Well, your friend is taking my lovely path.
It is rather lovely.
All right, let's go. And Appleby's just gonna fucking belt it down straight through the house and onto the second.
Cool, you do, and as you kind of pass through it and you get past this clearing of trees and look back around, you just see the pathway leading back into the forest where you initially kind of got very lost to begin with, as you're now out back in the arable lands a bit later in the afternoon. This heavy tree, treed area behind you. And you begin to hear this kind of rustling coming from the trees. He says, "See you soon." So you hear the voice of the face eater once more.
All right. Well, do we know this? Was this the person who was the arbiter?
You've not met this person yet.
What are they called again? Sorry.
Thrakfar Bloodbringer.
Thrakfar Bloodbringer. All right, back into the village we go.
You do so. Very easy walk from here as you kind of go up this farm track, past the farms you pass on the way. You do see now, as it's kind of getting into much later in the afternoon, everyone's kind of stopped working, and they're either congregating around their houses in the town or around the inn, the rusty farmhand even. Anywhere in the village you'd start your search?
I'd probably go back to the pub.
Pub's a good shout.
Pub.
Cool. Yep. You
Lads on tour.
head back into the pub, and you once again see Sal Resh with
the TV's going to die. Do you have the remotes here?
You got it? You once again see Sal Resh, this horned orc, tending the bar, once again in her kind of noble outfit. A lot busier now, as you see kind of all the workers now have kind of ended their shifts on the farms, and seem to be having a nice round of seaweed ales going in this pub. I'm
going to approach the woman at the bar.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, you again?
I want to apologize for our previous encounter.
Nothing to be sorry about.
We're travelers and we're trying to find our way around, really.
Did you take the forest path?
We dipped our toes in a little bit. We had a small travel in. We didn't find any face eaters yet, but the day is still young.
Give me a deception check.
That one.
That one? Damn, she got a 2. She kind of like looks at you and kind of like, that's this quizzical look on her face.
Yeah.
So, what are you here to do now?
Well, we just had to, maybe spend another night, learn a bit more about this face eater, figure out, what we want to do, or figure out, if it's this face eater or it's a creature, I'm still trying to think about a plan of action.
Appleby walks up to the bar and goes, 2 seaweed ales, please. Has he told you we're working for the face eater now?
You what?
Yeah, exactly the same guy, yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'm
rolling too many 3s for this to be a real session. Am I dreaming?
I don't know if my character's more annoyed at that or the fact that you've ordered me another seaweed thing.
I haven't ordered one for you.
Oh, yeah.
Be a gold for those
It was
2
a
seaweed
6.
ales.
Big gold for those 2.
Yeah.
I need to pay for the other one, but
6 got a 6 on that.
6 turns.
Yeah, she got an 18, so she kind of... What? You work for them?
Oh, not officially. We're doing them a favour.
Is your friend okay?
look, he's the forest was a little bit.
He's been acting a little bit funny for most of the day.
We both say this at the exact same time.
She kind of like looks at the two of you as. You said you wanted to see a bit more of the town.
Yes, I mean, look, visit some of the locals, hear about some of their tales.
Well, Gromfar and her family are quite interesting. She's the auctioneer at the livestock yard. Her husband's the butcher. He's a bit of an odd fellow.
Ooh, Thrall is trying really hard not to fall asleep. It's just so bored.
Butcher. Well, would that be old? His name escapes me now. Last time I was down.
He's Stackfar.
Stackfar Bloodbringer.
That's the one, yeah.
Oh, I do know the fella. Yeah, he's a butcher now, is he?
He's been a butcher as far as I've known him.
Yeah, of course. I remember last time I was here, he was butchering away.
This is my friend knows everyone. He's a valuable asset, apparently.
Yeah, but apparently old what's his face was telling me you performed here once. Tariq.
Oh yeah, not too far from here.
Lovely. Well, he's probably at the butcher's shop.
Okay.
If you're interested.
Oh,
What could do with some meats? Maybe.
I'd be fascinated.
Wonder if he serves face. Yeah. Just because we're getting one of those for the face eater.
Right.
You can see a bit of like if you'll be in vain, it's like a crack in the ember, like
Let's see you later then.
see ya. And we both head.
Cool. Yeah, you head out, and after kind of like asking around a little bit, kind of using Applebi's prior knowledge of Tiller's Pass, you pretty quickly manage to find the butcher's shop, and you can see there's kind of appears to be some movement going on inside. You can definitely hear the sound of kind of like slaughter going on, essentially.
Before we go in, I'll take Appleby to the side and say, look, I've done a few of these things with other travelers and adventurers, and Some of this stuff that gets a bit intense, they don't like to be around, and I can understand that if that's what you'd prefer.
If I prefer not being around what?
Me cutting off a face.
Oh no, I would very much like to be around for that.
I'm starting to like you a lot.
You are actually going to cut the man's face off?
Yes, of course. What else would I do?
I don't know. Do you think she'd tell the difference between like a man's face and like a big bit of ham?
I'm not going to take the risk, to be honest.
Well, maybe we could take both. We take the bit of ham and we take the face.
Look, you can take the ham if you want, but I'm taking the face regardless.
So we give her the ham first, and if she's like, no, this isn't a face, we can be like, it's okay. We've got the face. And then she'll be so pleased. She'll be...
If that's what you think is a good idea, then you can do that.
As you're kind of waiting out here having this conversation, you actually hear some kind of odd sounds begin to emanate out from this kind of butcher's shop at the back. As you hear what appears to be some kind of like chanting going on in there. As you kind of, but also intermingled with the sound of this kind of like heavy thudding sound that sounds like an axe hitting a block, and these kind of general kind of animal sounds of what appears to be slaughter.
Actually, this guy doesn't mind his face. He sounds like not the nicest.
Oh, well, I don't care if he's the nicest person in the world or not. I'm getting his face. Let's go.
I can have a point of inspiration for that. That's very funny. Are you going in quietly, or are you going to give it an old knockety-dock, or what's this situation?
Is it locked? Is it shut?
You can actually see that the door is open at the moment.
Yeah, butchers. Let's just go let's have a butcher's. Let's go in.
Yeah, you kind of go in and you can see no one in the kind of main room of the butcher shop. You do see kind of like...
Just my right of all, by the way.
Nice. You see kind of like cured meats around. You see barrels of what you think would be other kind of meat products. And you kind of look towards the counter. No one's there, but you can see his kind of chanting and chopping sound coming from the back room.
Can I make out like any words from this chanting?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that's not bad at all, everyone.
Hooray!
19.
19. Cool. Where is it?
Where did your cape go? Oh, did you take it off during
It's just for the vampire bits.
Yeah.
I mean the not bits, the master bits. He's not a vampire. I didn't say that. You hear this kind of chanting coming from this back room, and you hear the words, "Yurtress, guide my blade. May this food rot and wither in the mouths of the weak and unworthy. Yurtress, you must slay the unworthy with your pestilence. This food shall only be for the strong."
Do I know anything of Yurtress?
Give me a religion check at disadvantage.
Well, it's poor. Religion.
Yeah.
6.
You have never heard of this deity before. You think it must be some kind of minor orc deity.
Cool.
Should we just kill him?
Yeah, Appleby, as you kind of hear this, do you relay what you heard?
He's a fan of some Yurtress, saying that he wants the food to rot in the mouths of the unworthy. I'll go in and speak to him, and then if that doesn't work, we can take his face by force. Got it. And then I just go into the...
Stealthing, or you just...
No, I'm just going to walk right into the back room.
I'll
Say,
stealth
a fan of Yurtress, I hear.
I'll stealth it.
Cool. Give me a stealth check.
Oh, that's bad. I'm going to use my inspiration immediately.
You can have advantage on this roll, actually. So you don't need to burn your inspiration because Appleby is doing something quite distracting here.
It was a legendary 7, so can I do it again?
You can have one roll.
I've given you a
keep it.
Oh, yeah, you
bardic
have.
inspiration, so you could just add a d6 to it if you like, or re-roll it.
I'm going to re-roll it and maybe add the d6. 7.
Nice.
I just got 7, but with more steps.
Appleby, as you walk in saying this, his head quickly snaps around, and you see he's covered, this orcish figure covered in blood, quite a large kind of burlish man, orc. As you see him kind of turn around, blood covering his entire body. He's shirtless at this point, and you actually see these kind of bloody handprints all over him, and almost like this, these kind of basic and crude runes drawn in the blood all around him. There is a decapitated sheep's head in one of his hands, a butcher's cleaver in the other, and you see a small pen of sheep to the kind of one side of the room, and this kind of like pile of carcasses on the other side of the room, as this figure snaps round, seeing you there, and saying this name of Yertris is, "What's it to you? Who are you?" As he sees both of you instantly.
Oh, just a fan, you know, a fan of Yertris, a fan of butchers, you know. It's a shame. I was eating some of your food out the front just now, and it started to rot in my mouth. God, can you believe something like that? Who would wish that upon their worst enemy?
As he raises the cleaver and comes to strike you, could you all roll initiative, please?
Oh, all right.
That's... Oof. Not good.
What did this guy get? What's his bonus?
Let's cut some faces.
What's his bonus action? Cool. Appleby.
19.
Appleby with the 19. Yeah. Whoop whoop. Thrall.
5.
5, bro. No. Okay.
Let's get rid of this inspiration.
You're last.
I believe them ledge 7s.
Cool. Up first on deck, Appleby, you see as this orc raises his cleaver, and you can you get the jump on him, but you see as it looks like he's about to charge right at you.
Okay, he's about to charge right at me. I'm going to sort of... still in this very sort of like jovial voice, not really changing from when he started running at me to before. Sort of say like, "Look, listen, pal, you can be as angry as you like, but unfortunately we're going to have to take your face." And cast Vicious Mockery, so wisdom save, please.
Nice. That's whiz. Not good. He gets a 9.
Nice, he fails.
Cool.
And takes 1 psychic damage,
okay.
And is at disadvantage on his next hit.
On his next hit roll.
On his next attack, yeah.
Cool. That's your main action?
Yeah, that's my main action.
Cool.
Bonus action. I'll do a quick little verse of the "I like to keep my face upon my head" song. An
ironic piece now. You're trying to steal this guy's face.
Yeah. I'm sort of like doing a little bit of a jig around as I turn and sort of say like, "You're better off alive or you're better off dead, but you're better off with your face firmly on your head," and I'll bardically inspire Thrall.
Cool. Okay, you do nice. So. Any movement?
Nah.
Cool. Up next is whatever I call this orc, Thrakfar.
Disadvantage on his hit.
He does have disadvantage. He's going to run up to you with his cleaver, and he is going to attempt to hit you with this.
Don't go doing that.
It's going to be a bad miss. That's going to be an 8 to hit.
And that's a bad miss.
As he kind of like goes to cleave you, just kind of like, as you're singing, just sidestep past this like swinging cleaver as you manage to nimbly dodge out of the way. Thrall, you're up. Appleby, you're on deck.
As you sidestep and the orc kind of misses and stumbles towards me, I just pull out the blunderbuss.
Nice. Cool. Give me a hit roll. He's definitely within 15 feet of you.
That's 23.
That definitely hits.
Good. That's not great. That's 9 damage.
Cool. As you kind of like get this big hefty gun in both your hands and blast it off, you see as he takes this kind of arcane magical slug in his this magical splattering of slugs into his kind of like torso, and but keeps fighting through this.
He doesn't look bloodied or anything.
He's not quite bloodied yet.
No. And that's my go.
Which will go. Cool.
Well, actually, I'm going to move to kind of get distance between me and the orc.
Cool. Yeah. How far do you want to go? With still line of sight, you could probably move about 10 feet away from him.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Cool. Appleby, you're up.
I will sort of like, while I'm singing, catch the eye of the like pen of sheep.
Yeah.
If I can sort of see them, and I'll sort of like, don't you worry, sheepies, we are here to take your master's face. And I will sort of spin around and go to just slice at him with my dagger.
Nice. Cool. Give me an attack roll.
It's not so sweet, really. It's an 11. I'm actually just going to use my point of inspiration.
Nice.
Do it! Do it! That's worse.
No.
That's actually worse than an 11.
No. Is that with bonuses 11?
Yeah.
Oh, Ruffy. That does miss, unfortunately.
It's all right.
You don't manage to pierce the kind of like leather trousers he's wearing.
I was going for his face so drastically.
Yeah, you did miss quite badly as you run across the leather on his thigh. Up next is Thrakfar. I'm going to use my Patreon advantage. Thank you, Patreon. On this attack, as he is going to.
I know, I gave that advantage.
Yeah, he's going to run up to you again, Appleby, and try and cut you.
No, how could you?
I got legendary 18s, so that is going to be a hit.
Damn it.
With his cleaver. His cleaver.
His cleaver, it's me
So,
over with his cleaver.
This is going to, because he had advantage on this roll as well, this is going to be his butcher's strike.
Oh, fuck.
Sick. Extremely cool.
Cool. And he deals you.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be a bit.
It's a fair chunk of damage. That's going to be.
Is it more than 7?
It is. It's 16 points of damage with that butcher's strike.
The other foot is clean off. That. 16.
16 damage. Yeah. It's not double your total health, is it?
It's just about.
It's very near.
Yeah.
It's very
My
close.
total health is 9.
That is very close. As he kind of slashes across your midriff, tearing another slice across your lovely, jester's outfit.
Good fucking thing I got a new one of these commissioned.
Yeah, exactly. As it slices across you and you fall backwards into unconsciousness, could you give me a D100 check, please?
Damn it.
They're going to get higher than a 10 here.
Why does this keep happening to me? Higher than a 10.
Yeah.
I get 20.
Nice. You're no lingering injury today. And that was the orc's turn. Thrall, you're back up. You've seen Appleby just take this big hit and apparently go unconscious.
How far away is it now? Are they now like 30 feet?
They're still just 10 feet away from
10
you.
feet.
Yeah. They were kind of already up on Appleby when you moved back.
As Appleby's like going unconscious, he just sort of goes, "Don't forget to take his face."
Right.
Lightning blast?
Lightning
Nice.
Blast. And I've just still got is the Bardic Inspiration down now, or do I still have it?
You can still have the Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
He's not dead.
I don't need it.
unconscious.
It's 19.
19 hits.
19 is a hit. That's a d6 plus another d6. 9 damage.
Nice. This guy's bloodied now.
You're just gonna run up to me anyway, so I'm just gonna run between him and Appleby and just do a solid melee. Just
Cool. Yep.
10.
10 to hit.
Yeah.
Misses.
Okay, fair enough. That's that.
Cool. Yep. Seeing you run up to him now, he's going to attempt to strike at you back. Not advantage, so he won't get his butcher strike. And that is going to miss with a 12 to hit.
Okay.
That's his turn. Appleby, death saving throw, please.
Can do, can diddly, can doobly. Pass!
Nice.
Is it me now?
It's you now.
I'm going to use one of my spell slots.
Cool.
Cast Cure Wounds
Nice.
on Appleby.
Cool.
On the orc.
Which, let me get this page up. It's 1d8 plus 6.
Oh, cool.
That's what you get.
You roll that, I believe.
Oh, do I? Oh, fuck's sake. 7.
That's pretty decent. I take that. That's almost full health.
Appleby, you're on deck.
And punch again.
Nice. Go for it.
It's a 9 again.
Doesn't quite go through. This kind of orc's rippling muscles. Butcher's honed muscles. Appleby, you are up. You are on the ground. Recently regained consciousness, but you do see your wound has apparently healed.
Oh.
That's a nice change.
Yeah. Wow. I check I've still got both feet, or like...
You still have the same amount of feet you entered this room with.
Yeah, that's good.
But you see this fight kind of happening now sort of above you as Thrall has tried to punch this guy twice and this guy's trying to cleave back at him but he's not managed to get through the armour.
I am going to sort of to the orcs and go, hey, psst, down here. And while on the floor, just give him a little wave and hold him up a single golden bell. And while holding out that bell, I'm going to say, do you still have your face? And cast Vicious Mockery.
Nice. That's another wisdom save.
Yes, it is.
Didn't mean to roll 2 of those dice, just meant to roll 1. Got the other, so I'll re-roll that. He gets a 2 on his wisdom save again.
Fat fail there.
Fat fail.
It's still just a 1 side.
No.
I've been rolling really
But he gets
poorly.
this on his next attack roll.
Yeah.
Cool. That's your main action. Are you trying to offer him the bell as well?
Yeah, I'm handing him the bell.
Cool. Give me a persuasion check. At this, sorry, because you're in fighting. You're in fighting.
I'm in fighting and lying on the floor. At this, persuasion, 9.
9. He doesn't take the bell.
Yeah, I would.
And up next is him, seeing you back alive on the floor.
Oh, God.
Oh no, he wouldn't get that anyway because he'll be at dis on his next attack roll anyway. So actually, he's just going to keep going for you, Thrall. He'll have dis on this strike, which more than misses with I think only an 8 to hit. Again, this cleaver just can't. It's meant for flesh, just can't get through your armor at all. Thrall, you're up. Appleby on deck.
I'm going to blunderbuss.
Gonna blunderbuss him again. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is 17.
17 hits.
17. That is nice. That's 9 damage. Yeah, 9 damage.
How do you kill him with this blunderbuss?
Shoot his face.
Just put it to like his throat.
Yeah.
And just before I pull the trigger, I say I'm vegan anyway, and pull the trigger.
Nice.
Nice.
You kind of like blow this kind of like hail of like this arcane shard through his neck, and it just disintegrates, and you're just kind of left with this kind of like wet sound as his head kind of flops onto his shoulders, where like there's the neck has just kind of gone missing, and then tumbles onto the ground, followed shortly by his body. As you have decapitated Thrakfar with a gun. Didn't think that would happen today.
I'll go over to the sheep and just open the pen.
Well, yeah, you do so, and they kind of like timidly kind of like walk out. And they
I'll pick up the like guy's head and sort of be like, a couple of the sheep.
like really kind of violently back away from you as you make a growling noise and show this bloodied item, and they kind of like, you see them like run out of the rear and out into what appears to be like a field at the back of this kind of like
Immediately
enclosure.
You know what? I like you.
So yeah, the remaining sheep in this room have backed off.
I think a head will be good enough.
It's got a face on it.
It's got the face they want, so.
I'll like hold it up and sort of look up. Yeah, it's like, we didn't ask his name.
And as you are kind of holding this head, you kind of begin to hear the kind of like hubbub of a town, awoken to the noise of what appears to be a quite loud set of kind of explosive gunshots coming from inside this building. I'd say you've got, give me a perception check, both of you actually, as you can kind of try and determine how far away these people are.
Oh,
15.
18.
Cool, yeah, you can see you've probably got about 30 seconds or so before people kind of start getting in here.
Let's just go at the field.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, you both kind of leave out through this back entrance. Do you want to stealth up?
I'll give it a go.
Cool, yeah. So you kind of leave out this back. If you could both give me stealth checks.
9.
10.
10, 9 and 10. Cool. See what the villagers do. Well, the villagers on their perception check to spot you got a 5 up to a 6. So as this kind of like horde of villagers kind of comes up to this kind of like this sound, you hear as they are horrified by what has been going on inside. Not only you think because of this decapitated corpse there, but also from... You can hear kind of whispers about this Yurtress, and you kind of hear like people, the kind of words like blasphemy being thrown around as you hear the kind of like this commotion come from this butcher shop. As you manage to slink out the back and start heading towards this forest path leading you back into the Fey Woods. The moment you kind of step through...
As we walk into the woods, Appleby just goes... and just walks right through.
As you kind of step through into the woods for the first time again, you just appear at the edge of the clearing, this hut waiting for you at the top of this pile of bones. The door opened once again, and you can see this writhing kind of semi-serpentine, but in fact, insectoid form inside, writhing and waiting. As you appear there before this kind of clearing, he says, "You have it then. I can smell a fresh face."
It doesn't.
It's still dripping.
Yeah, I suppose it is, yeah.
Yeah, it did like literally 5 minutes ago. Yes.
What's
Or
your name?
less, even less, I think.
What's your name again, sorry?
My name.
Yeah, what do
I
you
am
go by?
the Eater of Faces.
You to the faces.
Eater of Faces, I want you to know, I don't feel great about this, but I don't necessarily feel bad. If you toss the head to us at the same time as I toss this one to you, does that work?
That works.
Yeah? No disrespect to your mother.
Of course not.
We don't need the full head. You can keep the head if you want the head.
No, I want the head.
Oh, you want the head? Okay.
And you see it. You kind of see as this like thing just begins to roll down this pile of bones, and this head kind of lands perfectly between your two sets of feet. This skull with the kind of gem in the eye.
All right, to the other.
Kind of like toss it up, and you see as he kind of like squirms out of the house for the first time seeing him leave this hut, kind of grabs this face, just stares at it for a little while. You see him holding it almost tenderly, and then just like Mr. Fantastic Mr. Fox in the Wes Anderson movie, where he just kind of like devours it insanely quickly. You see scraps of blood, skin fly all over the place. You didn't throw it all that far, you kind of like are flecked with a bit of it as this creature devours this almost entire head. And you see it as kind of left in its mandibles. Its hands actually don't play a single part in this clean skull, which it then just spits out onto this pile of bones. And as it does this, you see the face that it is wearing change from this elfin form, changes into this orcish form that you just killed. The green's starting to match up a little bit better with its kind of natural form. It's still not right. This face is much deeper forest green, and its skin is still the kind of pale green that you've kind of seen it. That was delicious, thank you.
No problem.
That was really quite something to watch.
If you ever are in the area and want any of my other treasures, I'm always happy to trade a face.
I think we're going to get along very well. If I'm in the area, I'll be sure to get back in touch.
Tell your master it was a pleasure doing business.
Personally, I wish to never see either of you again.
Oh, that's something we need to talk about. But we'll talk about it later. Yes, I'll tell my master that. I may need some personal favors at some point as well, maybe. But that's for another time.
I'm always up for a deal.
As am I. But I guess, would you be able to offer us your exquisite path out of this forest, or should we make our own way? Or
turn back the way you came and you'll find a quick exit.
Great.
Yeah, okay.
As you kind of like turn to leave now, as you begin walking out, you kind of turn and you see again, about 10 feet in front of you, this clearing out back into the farmlands of Tiller's Pass.
Okay.
And as you kind of like begin to get back out into the clearing, you kind of feel this amplified transitioning stone begin to glow. And you hear this voice in your head. You actually hear as Kalthar's voice comes piercing through your head and says, I feel it. The transitioning stone is... You have it? The stone.
I say it in my head, I have it.
Drop that one off and come back to me.
Wait. What are you doing with this stone?
That's not... Take the stone, basically, whilst replying. Well, this is the thing, it's not that important, really, but look. Well, I'm sure we may be in touch again soon. Do you have friends?
What's it? Why would you ask that? Are you trying to join a group?
Not trying to join. I may need a personal favor at some point.
Okay.
But for now, I think it's best you go off back to wherever you're going or whatever you were doing. And I put my hand on it.
We didn't fucking keep a Borea.
As you kind of like say that, you feel his hand grasp onto your shoulder. Again, you see this light emanating up from the ground, these runes. And as quickly as you disappeared and appeared before, you again hear the gulls cawing and this kind of like this just general sound of the coastline as you smell the salty air of Ria Priz once again. And you look in front of you and you're alone here as the smoke clears.
You have the skull there.
You have this hag skull in your hand. You're actually feeling in the kind of like pocket area of your jester outfit as well. It feels a little bit heavier than you thought.
I'll check it.
You find a coin purse there, and you see 2 platinum pieces in there.
Wow. Okay.
Both of them marked with this strange denomination that you've actually not seen before, which has this kind of these twin runes on one side that are in a language that you don't understand, and on the other side appears to be a depiction of some kind of castle. As you kind of look back around, a few hours later than when you were here last, you kind of see as the market of Ria Priz is beginning to come back together into its normal form, as you look around and try to figure out where your friends might have gone. As we move on from you back to Doomspire Keep in the south, as Thrall, you appear back in your chambers in your master's residency in Doomspire Keep. You see as Lunette is there waiting for you as you appear back into this room. I hear you did it. You got the stone?
Of course, I wouldn't. For your master, I'd do anything.
This is Lunette speaking to you.
Oh, Lunette. No, of course I did, Lunette.
Very well. He wants to see you right away.
And I'm sure he does. And I very somewhat what's the word? Very proud of myself. Walk through.
Cool. You again are met with these great cast iron doors, but this time instead of knocking, as you kind of reach your hand out to knock as Lunette passes through, they open automatically. And standing right in front of the doors, you see Kalthar, now fully dressed in his kind of full panoply of his station here. As you see him dressed in these very fine black and red noble kind of clothes and robes, as he is too eager for even let the doors open fully, as he kind of comes up to you. Do you have it? The stone?
On my, of course. And pull out the stone and hold it forward.
He kind of takes it from
my
you.
head bowed as well.
Takes it from you, very like softly, like stroking your hand as he takes it from your palms. And he raises it up into this kind of like shaft of moonlight that appears as he raises it up in front of his eyes. It's wonderful, Thrall. You've done ever so well.
Of course, what would I do? Nothing. I did provide nothing less for the master.
You have done well, and you shall be rewarded. Only a few more now. This is a good start. This is a good start to a collection. And I think with that, is where we'll end this session of Tales of Ellseworld, as you have successfully delivered one of the stones of Ankelion to your master.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for playing. You both get 50 experience points for this. Whoop,
Sweet.
whoop. Appleby, yes, you have that platinum that you have. And if you enjoyed this stream, please do make sure to check out our usual Ellseworld stream, which is coming at you this Sunday, where you'll get to see the continued story of Applebi Okewoode, as well as his other main companions who deserted him at this dockyard to be kidnapped. Some friends.
Appleby's unsure if any of that happened.
So excited. Well, I'm excited.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
Karen.
no, Karen.
He's just sort of takes a big deep breath and is like, that's more than I've spoken to anyone in 20 years.
I'm excited to actually see whether Appleby actually says anything. Because part of me just keeps telling me, like, where'd you go? And Appleby be like, I've been many a place.
I was just at the shops.
I went to the butchers.
Like, I haven't spoken to anyone that much in 20 years. And then a couple of seconds go by and he looks down at his leotard and he's like, oh no! I didn't pick up my new leotard.
You do. Actually, the epilogue of this session is, as kind of night falls over Tiller's Pass, you see or you would see if you were still in the town, as a orc wearing a green leotard desperately searches for his idol, the corpse flower, as we will close this session on that note of a tragic story. Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for participating. This has been great. I think this was a great first trial run of this weird system I developed for players missing sessions. I can't wait to do it more, even though it will mean players have missed sessions. But this is the upside to it. You get a bit more fun. You get a bit more content from us, and get to explore some of the weirder bits of Ellseworld. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to my lovely players for playing.
Thank you.
Follow Dungeoneers Pack on Instagram.
Yeah, there's some new content going up on Dungeoneers Pack all the goddamn time. We got a new set of wildcard posts that will probably be going up tonight. So keep an eye on that. And see you on Sunday for Big Ellseworld, where there'll be Appleby and a few other little surprises.
Take a long rest. Well, slightly shorter rest than usual, actually.
Have a short rest at the Grove, and we'll see you back here next time.
Catch you later.
Peace.